Hey there, it's Dr. Ashley Southard here for Way Out Wednesday. I'm coming to you from Scottsdale, Arizona with a New Beginning Outpatient Treatment Center and the Healthy Way Out Emotional and Binge Eating Program. So this month we are talking about how to survive, even enjoy this holiday season without the use of emotional and binge eating. Now, as you know, I typically like to use these videos to talk about concepts related to how you're feeling and then how those feelings are related to your overeating. The emotional underpinnings of why you eat is a really, really important part of the recovery process. But today I do actually want to talk about food because let's face it, there is a ton of food this time of year. But I'm not going to give you the same tired tips that you've probably heard over and over again. We're not going to talk about how to replace oil with applesauce or how to eat a snack before you go to a party so you don't arrive hungry. While those tips can be helpful, they certainly don't address the complexity of emotional and binge eating. They certainly don't go deep enough. Today, what I want to talk about really flies in the face of what most of us have been programmed to believe about how we should navigate our food choices when we are eating. Are you ready for it? All right. I want you to consider eating according to this principle of save the best for first. Now, what am I talking about here? Well, we've all heard the old adage, save the best for last, right? Kind of get through the bad stuff, if you will, to get to the good stuff. Maybe that's the dessert or the stuffing that's on the table or whatever goodie or treat or delicious food you really, really love. That's the best for you. Well, if we eat according to save the best for last, we end up eating a lot more. The things that we think we should eat, right? All of the stuff that's on our plate that we feel like we should eat because we're trying to be a good eater, we're trying to be healthier, or maybe we feel like we're a part of the clean plate club and we have to eat everything on our plate before we can have dessert. So we end up eating a lot more food that maybe we don't really enjoy, that our body really doesn't need because we're trying to get to the quote unquote good stuff at the end. So I invite you to consider actually doing this opposite, eating or saving the best for first. Now, this is actually a key principle of intuitive eating, or some of you have heard of it as mindful eating, and that is really starting your meal or your snack with the bite or first couple of bites that look the best to you. That means evaluating the food that's in front of you and deciding which bite looks most desirable, most delicious, most beautiful when you look at it. Which food smells the best, which food looks the best, and if you've tried it before, which food tastes the best. We want you to start there. When you save the best for first and you start with the things that look most desirable to you, you actually satisfy the pleasure center of your brain. And then the meal is a very satisfying experience, and it makes it a whole lot easier for you to stop when your body starts to give you those natural fullness cues that says, hey, I've had enough, I'm ready to stop. You don't feel deprived because you've already eaten the thing that you're most excited about. So it's actually a really helpful principle in working towards intuitive and mindful eating and listening to your body's natural hunger and fullness cues. So what does this look like in real practice? Well, let's say you're at a holiday dinner party and there is quite a spread of food, a lot of food around. So how do you make these choices? Well, if you're trying to be good or be a healthy eater, you might fill up your plate with all of the things that you think you should eat. You might eat the salad and the lean meat and the extra serving of veggies. And that is all wonderful. If you like those foods and that's really what you enjoy, more power to you. That's fantastic. But if that's not necessarily the first thing that you want to start with, you might find yourself eating those things because you think you should eat them, but really eyeing that casserole dish that you really want, but think, oh, I shouldn't have that. That's not healthy. That's not good. Well, you're probably going to end up having some of the casserole anyway. So you might as well start there and avoid eating all of those things that you think you should eat just to get to the casserole. Start with the casserole. Really enjoy it. You'll probably also want to have some of the salad, the lean meats, the whole grains, but you probably won't eat as much of all of this food because you've been satisfied by starting with those bites of casserole that looked so divine to you. That's what saving the best for first looks like. So let's imagine you're at a holiday cookie exchange party and there's dozens of cookies around you and you really want to try some. The dieter in you might be saying, don't eat the cookies, they're bad for you, just stay away. Maybe the binge eater in you is saying, oh, to heck with any diet, don't worry about it, eat whatever you want. But that's not really what you want to do either. Well, saving the best for first, being a mindful, intuitive eater, is about finding that middle path between the binging and the dieting where you're eating what sounds good, what looks good, what tastes good, and really enjoying it at the same time. So you're at this cookie exchange party. Assess all of the different options that you have. Identify that one or maybe 2 or 3 cookies that look the best to you. Which bites do you really want to start with? Sit down and really mindfully taste those cookies. So free yourself of distraction, turn off your phone, turn down the conversations, dial in to the mouth experience of biting into that first cookie. Is it as good as you thought it would be? Maybe it's even better than you thought it would be. What does it taste like? What does it feel like in your mouth? What are all of the different flavors and the smells? And really enjoy it. So saving the best for first, it allows you to have a satisfying, pleasurable experience with your meal, which will then make it a lot easier to stop when volume-wise your body has had enough food. When it says, hey, I'm satisfied, I'm full, it's a lot easier to say, okay, I'm done. I can have more later, but I feel satisfied right now because I've eaten the thing or the couple of things that I really, really wanted to enjoy. All right, so save the best for first. I hope that this tip is helpful to you as you navigate all of these meals and festivities that you may have coming up. For those of you who celebrate Hanukkah, I hope that your celebration is off to a beautiful start. I will be back here next week for another tip about how to navigate this holiday season without emotional and binge eating. Until then, have a wonderful week, and I will look forward to seeing you here back soon. Take care. Bye-bye.